Because young Sheldon waited until the very last possible moment to address George's death, it never got the chance to truly explore how that loss shaped the Cooper family afterward. The show ended on the emotional gut punch of his passing, but the aftermath, the pain, the confusion, the long-term grief, was mostly left untouched. That's exactly where Georgie and Mandy's first marriage steps in. In its second season, especially episode 3, the series picks up those emotional fragments and starts piecing together how the Coopers really moved forward after losing George. What's so impressive here is how the show handles grief, not as one big emotional breakdown, but as something that lingers differently in each family member. Mary, for instance, is starting to consider dating again. It's shocking, considering how she swore she'd never move on after George died. But this moment is telling. It's not about forgetting him. It's about rediscovering what life looks like after tragedy. Even more surprising, Missy, who once lashed out at her mom for everything after George's death, is now supportive of the idea. That change says a lot about her emotional growth and how time has helped her accept that her father's gone. And then, there's Georgie, who finds himself quietly suffocating under the idea that everyone else seems ready to move on when he isn't. It's interesting because Georgie's always been the pragmatic one, the one who stepped up, took over responsibilities, and made sure the family stayed afloat. Mary even helped him get the money to start his business, showing that their bond was strong and supportive. Yet, when it comes to his mom finding companionship again, George's reaction is filled with resistance. On the surface, it might look like he's just being judgmental or protective, but it's deeper than that. His grief, buried under his charm and humor, hasn't really healed. He's the one holding the family together, but he's also the one holding onto the past the tightest. It's that contradiction that makes him such a fascinating character in this episode. The episode does a great job showing that while Georgie doesn't openly confront his mother or her new friend, his silence says everything. He's struggling, torn between wanting his mom to be happy and not being ready to accept a world where George's place in their family feels replaced. From Mary and Missy's perspective, he might seem like the one blocking her happiness, but really, he's just the one who hasn't figured out how to grieve properly. It's that quiet pain that keeps the story emotionally grounded and makes you realize that Georgie and Mandy's first marriage isn't just about marriage and family drama. It's about healing. And what's exciting is that this storyline is far from over. The Coopers' grief, especially George's, still has room to grow and evolve. Since The Big Bang Theory never told us what happened in Texas after George's death, Chuck Lorre and his team have creative freedom to fill in those emotional blanks. And so far, they're doing it beautifully. It keeps the legacy of young Sheldon alive, but in a way that feels organic and earned. At the same time, the show is slowly setting up George's arc towards success, the version of him that we later meet in The Big Bang Theory as a wealthy entrepreneur. His partnership with Ruben and connection with the McAllisters shows that his business side is thriving, but emotionally, he's still catching up. That contrast between professional growth and personal struggle is what makes this new phase of the Cooper family story so rich. What really stands out in this episode is how George's actions, his resistance, his jealousy, his frustration, don't come from malice. They come from love. His father's death left a wound he never properly addressed, and watching his mother open her heart again reawakens all that unresolved pain. It's a reminder that sometimes even the most seemingly put-together people are carrying the heaviest grief. So while Georgie might seem like the antagonist in this situation, his reaction actually makes him more human. What did you think about George's reaction to Mary dating again? Do you think he was out of line? Or do you understand where his pain is coming from? I'd love to know your take. So drop your thoughts down in the comments. And let's talk about whether Georgie and Mandy's first marriage is doing justice to the emotional legacy of young Sheldon.